fucking joke.
Heartfelt.
No! How could you say that? I'm a dumbass.
That means you're gay.
No! God, please, no!
A man and a woman.
I'm kind of retarded.
You are fake news.
Negus.
I'm upset!
Be offended.
Do you love black people?
You ain't black.
I don't care.
Shawn Cav.
I have nipples, Greg. Could you milk me?
How about new?
Hot, hot, hot like a tamale!
Try to relax your anus.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
What is it, your period?
Oh, rim shot!
Five, four, three, two, one.
What's up, all you crazy capitalists, you witty whiskey enthusiasts? Welcome to the
Capitalist.
the Whiskey Capitalist podcast. I'm Ian,
I'm Shawn.
and make sure you like, share, subscribe, follow, and comment down below. Go to solo.to/the whiskey capitalist for all of our links and ways to stay up to date with us, and go to bit.ly/the whiskey capitalist merch to check out our fully stacked merch store. Welcome. Yes, you know it's the Whiskey Capitalist when I can't say the intro correctly. All right. Today we got a good amount of stuff. We're gonna cover the Kevin McCarthy Speaker of the House debacle that's going on right now. I don't know how much you followed.
I've been trying to follow some of it, like whatever I find on Twitter, but like for the most part, I just been seeing like tallies and like totals of like votes that have been going on in the House. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, they've done 5 votes. And
Yeah.
they're doing one right now. Actually, they postponed it until 8 p.m. your time. So might check in on that and see what happens. But yeah, it's been interesting. There was a very spicy comment that happened that made me laugh, and I'm gonna see if we can play that. But yeah, no, I watched it earlier when I was trying to work on stuff. I just had it on C-SPAN in the background.
Mm-hmm.
It's so boring. It's so boring.
Yeah.
It's
And you know that they try to take all the fun out of the House too. That when they try to get rid of Boebert, they try to get rid of MG Marjorie and all them. Like it's just like they tried to like remove any kind of like spiciness from like the House and make it like extra bland.
Well, it's the House of Representatives. It's supposed to be kind of bland. It's just getting, you know what I mean? So,
yeah, and you know that they don't. It doesn't matter as much as like the Senate or nothing like that. Like to me, it's just like it's I don't know. It's part of the one of the houses of government or one of the branches, but I don't know. Is it the end all be all of anything? No, but like house speaker matters. Speaker matters.
Yeah, but because they're third in line. But but at the same time, it's like we'll get into it. We'll get into it. There's I have opinions. So let's see. It hasn't happened in 100 years, by the way. The fact that there's all these votes going on. Last time it happened was like in the 1920s. So it's kind of historical. If you think about
everything about like this decade is historical anymore. Like everything.
Exactly.
Every election has to be recounted 5 or 6 times.
Well, if they don't do it right or they, do it wrong the first time, I would have to say recount it.
Yeah.
But I'm kidding, YouTube. We also are going to discuss Buffalo Bills safety. The 24-year-old Damar Hamlin suffering a life-threatening injury, otherwise known as a cardiac arrest.
Careful.
That's what the narrative.
That's what it is, right?
That's what the narrative is saying. Is it's a cardiac arrest. There are theories though, but it was on live TV on Monday Night Football. So while we were talking shit about Greta Thunberg or whatever, there was a dude collapsing. So fun stuff. Not fun at all. We're gonna break down all of what that means. Also, we're gonna discuss the newest batch of Twitter files that came out, I think, on Monday. Also, talking about a lot more, corruption and all the stuff that's going on. And the potential Fauci files that Elon said are going to be coming out soon.
Yeah, he's teasing it right now.
I'm pretty excited.
There's lots of memes out there for the Fauci files.
Pretty excited. I'm also laughing my ass off that that announcement came from Elon Musk on Juanita Broderick's Twitter. Like, that just makes me laugh because, Clinton. Hilarious. But anyways, all right. So here's the intro, guys.
Who else in the level car say yeah?
Look at that big juicy booty.
Hot like a tamale.
Be offended. Do you love black people? Negro.
You know the thing.
Here, next.
Don't be rude. You ain't black.
Shawn Cav.
You're going to have a flame coming out of your butthole.
Heartfelt.
A man and a woman.
Okay, so what do you want to get started with?
Oh, geez, you're gonna leave it up to me. I think we could probably dive into the NFL with what was the name again?
Damar Hamlin.
Yeah, Damar. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I figure we could probably touch on that one because that one won't take too long.
Very European name.
What?
I said it's a very European name. I'm making stupid jokes.
Okay.
Because, that's what I do. Okay, so let's see. Okay, yeah.
You want to pull up the clip?
I got, I don't think we can play the clip because it's NFL. And
really? It's just a short little clip, but.
Yep. It's NFL. Wow. They're going to say something. Twitter's a completely different thing, but we'll get flagged for it. I know. I thought about this earlier, and I was like, this is going to suck because we can't talk about it.
It ruins the entire flow of the show because we're, like I said before we started the show, it's like we're a video medium. We're a visual medium. Like, if we can't show clips, it becomes very, very frustrating.
Yes.
Thank you, YouTube. We thank you for that.
That was me pointing because it was the side of my hand. So I have that. What do we have? The European outskirts.
Well, basically, from what I saw, is he was getting up after the end of the play, and then immediately just fell right back down to the ground. And then at that point, they had to go and get the stretcher to get him off the field.
Well, yeah, the clip that I saw, because I wasn't watching the game, the clip that I saw was that because he's a safety, so he was going in for a tackle, and he got hit with shoulder and helmet right in the middle of the chest, and then tackled the offensive player. Yep. And then he got up, stood up for 2 seconds, and then straight back.
Right. And a lot of that, it's kind of there's been a lot of similarities of what's happened with other athletes of young, healthy nature, where they are kind of like, not died suddenly, but something bad is happening to a lot of our athletes.
I have a couple different takes on it. Yes, I do think that is valid, that there have been a lot of other mysterious
coincidences
and cardiac events of younger players, and that have either been fatal or very serious. So and it's funny that it's come out in the past couple of years. I will leave it at that.
Because that's the big thing that I think most of us have to hint at. We hint at it because we can't actually just come right out and say it on YouTube.
What I will say is that that there hasn't been. I'm not going to be one of the peoples. I'm not going to be one of the people that comes out and says, "Oh, this is what it is." I can have my opinions. I can have my inquisitory mind about what is going on with that. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm trying to cuss less and use less cuss words as filler words. So I'm trying to use big words.
Good for you.
New year, new me. The last one was the last on Monday. It was just a carryover from 2022. But yeah, so I can have my own opinions about it and be inquisitory about it in my own mind, and we can kind of opine about it and figure out what's going on. But at the same time, I'm not going to just jump to that conclusion.
I think it would be smart for everyone to avoid jumping to the conclusion, just because, like, as much as we all want to say something like that, we can't really say that because, again, we're not doctors and we don't know what's going on inside that guy, like, or what he was doing ahead of time or anything like that. Like, who knows? Maybe he did like 5 rails of coke before he went out onto the field, and then the next thing you know, his heart exploded.
Maybe he did.
Oh no.
Coke out of his side piece's butthole. I don't know.
Maybe don't know.
Like Wolf of Wall Street, like with a straw. I don't know.
We don't know, and like we're not laughing at the fact that this guy's in a very serious condition. We're making jokes about possible scenarios that happened before he went out on the field.
If you've watched this podcast at all, you know that
we are insensitive assholes.
But we laugh at ridiculous situations, no matter if it's positive or negative or actually funny. That's the way that I process things, is I make jokes and I laugh about it. You should jump to conclusions, Pat.
Yeah. One of them's always the conspiracy, like tinfoil hat, like conclusion all the way. That's like the Alex Jones answer in the corner.
Yeah, I saw something that was pretty good. Someone said, you can totally accuse me of wearing a tinfoil hat, but it's better than, wearing a blindfold.
Yeah. And the best part about that is that, like, most of those conspiracies that people were like, oh, that's not true, there's no way that came from a lab or anything like that, were like, all those things came true. They were true.
Convenient how the wet market where the bats were was right down the road from where the facility was.
Yeah.
So anyways, and that was before we had more information, and it was all China. But yeah, so like there are those theories, there's the possibility of all that. So here, I'm just going to put this back on us. There is the theory, and that those are, and I completely understand that. I'm not discounting anyone that has that opinion or anything like that, because half my brain thinks that way too, and I think that it is potentially what happened. But when you look at when you look at him getting hit and what has been kind of brought up as a potential reasoning with this, I mean, I'm not a doctor, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not a doctor. I don't know, so I can't say either way, but I can say that what they're saying about it can potentially make sense. And I
would say, like, have you seen the documentary, like, Died Suddenly yet?
I have not watched that yet.
Well, I would highly recommend you check that out, because
it's my opinion for sure.
Yeah, well, and I'm not saying that it's very relevant to this exact situation by any means, but what I am going to say is that, like, that documentary they go about it in a way where they don't put the answers into your head. Like they present evidence, and they allow you to kind of like determine for yourself type deal. You know, like because it's a bunch of more
2,000 Mules kind of thing.
Kinda, but I would say it's better directed, and I would say like this is way more it affects everyone, you know, because everybody knows someone who's, you know, gotten like, you know, like injected with like vaccines and stuff like that, and like that's where, you know, this, like, you know, when it came to like the 2,000 Mules thing, like, yeah, that's kind of like some serious damning evidence for like election fraud and whatnot, but like you'll have a hard time proving it, you know, like when it comes to like you know, trying to say like, oh, see that guy, he dropped 5 ballots in there. You saw that? You sure? Like it's kind of pixelated garbage, but like anyway, like that's not the point. The point is that like in this one, it's actual morticians talking about the things that they have found in the autopsies of these young people who have died suddenly and whatnot, and like the weird fibrous rubber bands that are living inside their veins and all kinds of weird shit. It's really, really interesting for anybody who like has been following, you know, like this stuff since like, you know, like 2020.
I think especially with watching more Ricada and being like watching a lot more like, you know, court cases and, you know, being more into like the law side of things, I have kind of taken my brain. Again, we can opine about stuff, we can have our opinions about things, but when it comes down to actually making a decision of this is what happened or not, I like to look at all the evidence and wait, because we as a society have no patience anymore, because everything is, oh, we get it instantly to our fucking phones. There's one. And so we get it instantly to our phones, and so we think that everything just happens that way. It's like, no, you got to wait until more things come out, and then you make an educated decision, you know?
Sure. Yeah, I think that would make us all a little bit more intelligent.
Yeah, you know, that's a stretch. It's asking for a lot right now.
I get it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let's see. I'll zoom in a little bit so it makes it easier on you guys. So, Bill's
Damar Hamlin.
Damar Hamlin suffered cardiac arrest after collision. Damar Hamlin suffered cardiac arrest before collapsing on the field after being rushed to a local hospital. The Bills announced late Monday evening. 24-year-old safety tackled Bengals receiver T. Higgins. It's an interesting name as well. Near the end, T. Higgins. Southern? Maybe Southern? I don't know.
Maybe just a little bit.
Hingle me Crinkleberry. In the Key and Peele.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when it's all the different weird names. So good. My name's Hingle me Crinkleberry from
D Nice.
Tennessee.
Tamaki.
There's too many good ones. Near the end of the first quarter of their Monday Night Football matchup, as Hamlin attempted to get back to his feet following the collision, he fell back down to the ground. Teammates frantically waved in medical staff as the situation quickly grew dire, and an ambulance rushed Hamlin off the field and to the University of Cincinnati Medical Center in what quickly became a terrifying scene. I think the worst thing that happened is that he had to be in a hospital in Cincinnati.
You know, there was another thing that happened like right afterwards. I think it was like one of his teammates or something like went on the field and was doing like snow angels in like the grass, like right after that happened. Yeah.
Did he do some mushrooms or something?
I'm just saying that like it was in poor taste. It was in poor taste, especially after his teammate just collapsed.
Well, so speaking of poor taste, there are a lot of people that are mad at Skip Bayless.
Yeah.
I don't know. You obviously know who Skip Bayless is. No. Skip
Come
Bayless
on, out with it already.
Is this dude.
Okay.
He goes on Underrated or Undisputed with Shannon Sharp. They have that show and he always has interesting takes. And everyone gets mad.
Looks like William Dafoe right there.
He kind of
ugly as William Dafoe.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not a very. So basically, what he said, let me find the tweet. Yeah. So what he said was, no doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game, which is something I want to touch on in a second. But how? This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems so irrelevant. Okay. So that tweet on its face, again, text messaging is not always easy to convey tone. So it can be misconstrued when you're saying something, but I understand what he's saying when, okay, it is extra and crazy that this guy collapsed.
Yes.
Right? Understand that. But you're stopping the game?
Yeah, I mean, like,
take him to the hospital, put someone in, continue the game. Yes,
I can see where you're coming from with that, because I mean, like, if someone broke their leg, like, they would just, replace them on the field and they would keep the game going.
Yeah.
The guy didn't die, so like there's that. Like, I think if someone died or had to be like helicoptered out of like the field, yeah, I think you stop the game. But like,
well, yeah, those die, extra circumstances. But I mean,
yeah, I'm just trying to think of like, is this like justified to kind of stop the game? I don't know, because nobody would have known what was going on, so probably not.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. I don't want to be heartless, but at the same time, it's like, so you're stopping the whole game that like 60 other people that are trying to play this game and get into the, into the playoffs, trying to, do all this stuff.
And also, you're talking about like any kind of like a fluke plays or any kind of like screw ups that may have happened in that game. You're pretty much wiping the slate clean because of one incident, to where like that could change the entire outcome, and then that affects people's incomes. It affects the record standings, the whole bit. Like there's a lot that goes into, if you had to just completely scrub a game. It's just like a mistrial. Like if you had a mistrial in court, essentially all that evidence that you caught the like, the defense with or anything like that, like now they're aware of it.
Back and
they have time to go back and they can prepare for it.
And also, I mean, obviously, as we're talking about this situation, football is a physical sport. It is something that is taxing on the body. And so even, I don't know if it was in the first quarter or the fourth quarter, but that's another quarter on all those players' seasons. You know what I mean? That's another that's more taxing and more physicality on their bodies.
Well, it wouldn't just be a whole quarter; it would be the whole game. Wouldn't
I'm saying the whole game that they like, so they'll replay the whole game, but then or they might start from where that is. But anyways, if they start from where they ended and the same score, whatever, I can understand it a little bit more. But if they start a whole game over, then that what they played was the first quarter, 1 quarter, 2 quarters, 4, whatever. Like that's an extra amount they're putting on their bodies.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? It's like CTE, concussion, all that shit. There's 2. So like that kind of, plays into it as well. And, I mean, how many people put money on these games too, and how much money,
Sure. I mean, if you want to think about all like the people on like FanDuel or whatever that who are betting on this stuff, but
yeah. I mean,
I don't even think that's really even a factor. I don't think like I
don't think the NFL cares about that, but I'm saying, like, after watching The Sopranos recently, betting on football games is, in my head now. But yeah, so a couple people said, are you seriously talking about are you seriously talking about when the football game should be postponed? Damar Hamlin's health is all that matters at this moment. I mean, it does matter. Is it all that matters?
Yeah, I don't know. That is a really tough one, and like especially with context of like what's going on. Like, I think like most people would probably want to see the game stopped if somebody was like in serious like health concerns or anything like that. But I don't know, man. Like if I went out there and I broke my arm, my leg, and like getting tackled, the game would keep going, and I feel like that would be pretty serious. But like
you clean up, you make sure they're okay, you get them taken care of, and then game goes on. Like that's just I don't know, to me. We need to cancel Skip Bayless, evidently, from Des Bryant, because
Oh yeah.
Let me see. I hope they fire you, bro. For you to even think of the game is very sad. It's about the game.
Yeah, it was Trevor was saying that the emotions they went through with that were in there's no way they could continue playing. So they're saying that they're emotionally taxed the players.
The problem was not just injury. Wheel the guy off, back to the game. They watched a player get life-saving CPR for several minutes. Okay, I mean, I didn't watch the game. I don't know exactly what happened afterwards. I can understand that too, but I don't know, man. Like, it to me, it sounds, it just seems odd. Just seems odd. You know?
Well, wait. So they brought him off the field, and they were giving him CPR, and that's what the players are they're worried about. That was what was like emotionally taxing to them. I don't know. I mean, I'm sorry. Okay, I guess according to this picture, it looks like an ambulance came onto the field, so maybe they didn't wheel him off. Maybe what Trevor was saying, the problem wasn't just an injury and wheel him off and then back to the game. It was that they gave him life-saving CPR on the field. So I mean, okay. I guess you can't really move him. So I mean, I get that. Okay, I don't know. So I guess Skip Bayless went without Shannon Sharp on Undisputed. I think Tuesday. And then I watched a clip of today, and Shannon Sharp was going off on Skip Bayless, and it's like I kind of understand. Because, I mean, if you look at what he said, no doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game. But how? That's a valid question. How are they going to, like, he's just questioning it. Yeah. That's all he's doing.
Yeah. This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome. Facts. Which suddenly seems so irrelevant. So you could read this a couple of different ways. No doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game. But how? You know, you could read it that way, like he's being a dick. There's 3. This late in the season. A game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems so irrelevant. You know what I mean? You could read it that way and read it as he's being disingenuous, and he's like, you know what I mean?
No, I totally understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I remember there was this bike race track.
Kind of like there's good and bad people on both sides.
There's a bike race track that's by me, and I remember my family used to go there for the races every once in a while, and one of the things that happened, I remember, was because like this is like those types of bikes where there's no brakes on them. They grab like the guy from behind and they fling him like their teammate. They'll take their teammate and they'll fling him out in front of them to kind of give them like more speed.
Are you talking about?
This is just like bicycle racing.
Okay.
It's like bicycle racing.
Okay.
And they would take the person behind them because every so many laps they would switch off with their partner, and or teammate or whatever, and they would fling the person out in front of them. Well, the one time I was there, I remember one of the teams that was on the inside lane. They flung their partner, but apparently they didn't have like stable control of like the handlebars, and they went down into the field and caught the corner of the like award stand, like the giant wooden like award stand right in the center of his chest, and he hit fucking hard, dude. Like those bikes are going like, I don't know, I think they got to be going like 40-45 miles an hour.
Yeah,
like when they're going around some of those turns and then getting flung as well, like you're going super fast. He caught that right in his chest and then went straight down. And at that point they like tried to like, see if they could keep the race going. They wanted to make sure that there was something that was going to be happening, but they ended up having to stop it because they had to bring a helicopter in to like, get the dude like up and out to like the hospital fast enough.
Yeah.
And like they had like sheets up and around the dude just because like, I guess like there was maybe ribs showing or some shit. It must have been a fucking mess.
He did pass away, it's
something, something grotesque like that, or morbid. So like that alone stopped the race, and like for justifiable reasons, because like it was pretty extreme. They had to get a helicopter to come in and take the dude out or whatever. I when it comes to this, like I definitely feel that like it is a pretty serious event where someone's like life was like on the line, but at the same time, is it enough to stop the game? It's really, really hard call. I agree with you where they could have moved him off to the side and then like tried to like continue helping him while like trying to keep the game going. or at least
and thing
hold
to
off
me
for
too,
half hour. Who knows?
like I understand what you're saying, Trevor, about saying the emotions they went through with that. There was no way they could continue playing. I understand that and I get that, but how are these dudes that are getting paid millions of dollars that damn soft?
Well, I mean, like they're young still too. A lot of these guys, like we're like 36, so like for us, like we've kind of like I don't know, our my emotions have kind of died off, like for a lot of times. Like I just tend to like not give a shit, and I'll say stuff, and like should I? It's like, should I have said that? I don't know. Whatever. Fuck it. Like I just whatever. But like these kids, they're early 20s to like late 20s, most of them, early 30s for some.
That's weird though to me though at the same time, like because it's like when I was younger too, I would have been like, fuck it, whatever, let's go. You know what I mean? Like, so it seems more of a to me also what isn't there like the emotion or the way of thinking of okay, we're gonna win this game for that guy.
Yeah, but again, like I think that also could be handled in a way of like when you postpone a game as well. Like we're gonna go out there and we're gonna finish this game, for him. Postponing I think is just as fine. I think if they would postponing it is just as fine as continuing the game. I just wouldn't want to see them go and like have to like redo the game.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Depending on how they do it, that's why that tweet. It makes sense. Like
that's what it is.
How?
So like if it makes sense to like go back and like, hey, we're going to go and play like I don't know what quarter it was in. If it was in the second quarter or something like that, it's like we're gonna go and we're gonna play the second half of this game, and that's gonna be it.
Start at the exact same time, amount of time, everything like that. I get that. That makes sense. That's fine. But if you're gonna redo the whole entire game, I don't know, man. I think that. You know what I mean? That there's been so many times throughout, football history and, sports history where, a ref makes a bad call or this or that, or time gets taken off the clock or this, or, whatever. And it affects the whole outcome of the game. So how do you think basically just deleting quarters of a game because of this situation is not going to affect what happens later on in the season?
Well, yeah, that's why they really can't. They can't go and like delete anything. They have to just move forward with whatever the certain circumstances are. That's it.
So what is being said against the last 2 years situation being the culprit? How I will say that YouTube friendly is this Commotio Cordis. I might be saying that wrong. I probably am because I'm an idiot.
I don't know. Looks good to me.
Right? Yeah, that's so. Let me see. So it says he was taken to hospital in critical condition after. This was definitely written by someone who's British because taken to hospital. In critical condition after the Buffalo Bills safety collapsed on the field after a tackle during a game against the Cincinnati Bengals. The team said in a statement that the 24-year-old had suffered cardiac arrest on Monday night. Mr. Hamlin received CPR on the field before he was taken to a hospital. It's very reassuring to find out that they actually were able to restore cardiac activity on the field. This is critical, and it's really going to be critical in his further developments. A lot of us have been looking at these videos and surmising that what mostly likely happened is a traumatic cardiac arrest. I can't talk right now. So let me see. When he hit in that chest, when he was hit in that chest anteriorly, I think that's what you said. As hard as he was, it's a phenomenon known as Commotio Cordis. This is when you get traumatic injury to the anterior chest just as the heart is getting prepared to have another beat.
Oh, it's kind of like almost like a double bounce on a trampoline.
Yeah, exactly. And your ankle just immediately compresses. Yeah, that's why I have horrible ankles. It says it's during that repolarization phase that the electromechanical activity of the heart is fueled by electrical impulse. Dr. Cardio noted. If you have trauma at an exact moment when that heart is getting ready to repolarize and beat again, you will go into cardiac arrest. Okay, I completely understand that makes sense in a medical terminology way, but
I feel like it was like the 5-finger like death punch, and just like his heart's
like
gonna explode.
1-inch punch, or like I'm just saying it seems very convenient. Seems very convenient, and
it's a hypothesis.
With all the things that have come out about medical things, I am very leery of just okay.
Yeah, myocarditis was one of those things for sure.
I'm just saying I'm trying to be a logical
Skeptic
and reasonable human and realize that there are different ways to look at a situation. And I personally think that while this potentially can make sense, it also is super convenient, and every one of the people that pushed a narrative of something else are the ones that are pushing the narrative of this. Just saying. I don't know what your take is on that, but
it's just a matter of like, are you going to try and question it? Because if you are, you know who you're up against.
Exactly, the science. But he quit anyway, so.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter because there's still lots of people out there fighting that fight, and like that's a whole other subject for sure. But it's one of the reasons why even just like stuff like on Instagram, I just came across this where like I saw like an Instagram video, and like it was being fact checked for the stupidest thing, and I was like, this is why like this like social media is just not fun anymore. It's not fun. Everything's fact checked and like it's proven wrong, or it's like even if it's a joke, even if it's like satire, like things are like fact checked to death and whatnot. So you can't question anything in a serious sense, and you can't play jokes and like make satire because that'll also get taken down.
Yeah. I've been checking the Rumble chat, and my dad has stopped using YouTube, so he's not commenting on YouTube anymore. He's on Rumble, and so he has a comment over here. It says, "In battle, when a soldier gets injured or killed, do we stop fighting?" I understand your sentiment, and I agree with you on that point. I think a football game and a soldier in battle are a little bit different. I understand the correlation, how you could say that, but I think war is a different, like, no soldier left behind in the Marines and all that. Like I understand that. I think it's a little bit different.
Yeah, well, we're talking about like life and death versus like entertainment factors when it comes to like like NFL versus like actually being in war.
Yeah, we're talking about a foosball game, so I understand it's not as serious, but at the same time, the level of monetary compensation that they get to play a game, I think we should figure this out. And who's to say that Roger Goodell, because he's a trash bag, that he isn't like more money, more advertising? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
There are so many different ways to look at this, and so many different things to think of who can benefit and who doesn't benefit from this. Like how many
I am with you where like this guy he was okay. He didn't die or nothing like that. These guys get paid a lot of money. This is a physical job, and they run risks of like things like this happen. Apparently, Cordio Cardo or what was it? Corrado, Comio Corrado.
Corrado Soprano,
Commotio Cordis. Apparently, Commotio Cordis is a risk you're going to come across in that if you're going to get hit in the chest at the right time, I guess that's a risk that's going to be part of like being on the field.
It just
right?
the video that I saw on it, I don't know where it was, but it said that it's so rare.
Yeah, very rare, I'm sure, because it's the first time any of us have heard of it. Like almost like it was designed for this scenario.
That's what I'm saying. The convenient comment that I made.
Yes.
It just seems very convenient that they just, oh no, this is what happened. It's like, have you been brewing this up saying that this might happen because all these other athletes, you know what I mean?
Of course. Yeah, no, it was just this thing that we've known about but never had to talk about it before, ever.
Just saying, there are multiple sides to a story, and it seems it seems like that could be plausible. I'm not saying that it isn't, but I'm also saying that it seems very convenient that this one case in that, because I mean, if you look at the footage of it too, it wasn't really that hard of a hit.
No, it wasn't.
You know what I mean? Like you see how many, even in now times, how many times you've seen a dude get his helmet knocked off? He got rocked, gets up and he's fine. I mean, he's got CT, he might, murder his family later, but I mean, he got up.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just very interesting. But I think
we've seen people like in Walmarts get hit harder, like just like from like the certain fights in the cashiers.
Yeah, those
cashier lines.
Very white supremacist fight.
Fatherless fights.
That's F. That double F's that Follow Friday. And Follow Friday fights. So
it's Fatherless Fridays here at Walmart.
That a new? Oh, we don't do Fridays. Hey, you can do that for Sippin with Shawn.
We'll do a Fatherless Friday and I'll just show a bunch of clips from like Walmart fights.
I really like this idea, but I really hate this idea. We gonna get in trouble.
Yeah,
I like it. Okay. So yeah, you want to go on to Kevin McCarthy?
Sure, might as well.
Let's do that. Okay, so House adjourns with no speaker after Kevin McCarthy falls short. I think this is from yesterday.
And which vote number is this one? Is this from vote number 4?
I think this was the first 3. Was on. It was on Tuesday. It was yesterday, and then they had 3 more today, I believe.
Jeez. And
it was 212 for Jeffries, I believe is his name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we have the Republican leader Kevin McCarthy, and then let me see, where's the other guy? Of course, they're not gonna...
Yeah, Jeff. Oh, it was right there on the screen there. Yeah, Jeffrey's bit.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, Jeffrey from New York, I believe. And then this right here was from yesterday. They had a couple different ones. Biggs. I didn't watch it yesterday. And then they also had Jim Jordan was the big one that they were trying to push, but Jim Jordan doesn't want it. Which, I mean, to be completely honest, the ones that don't want the power are usually probably the ones that should be running things, because
and when I heard his name getting mentioned before, I was like, oh, that sounds nice.
Yeah,
like I was like, okay,
Rand Paul, I'll take.
Yeah,
a Matt Gaetz, maybe.
Okay,
like, you know what I mean. I'll take them. I mean, Lauren Boebert, MTG, they're a little extra.
No. Yeah, and I think that's the problem too, because like a lot of those names that you hear a lot more often, it's because they say spicy comments and whatnot, and like like I don't know if necessarily if that's like who you want as like speaker, to be perfectly frank, I would be fine with Jim Jordan though, because I mean like he's pretty Manila, like.
Really? What's up, dude? What's up?
I didn't see Liver King's name come up there or any votes.
Yeah, hey, you know what?
Under other.
Yeah, exactly. And then today it was what was his name? I'll try and figure it out. Hold on. Oh yeah, there was a funny the bad lip reading.
Yep.
There was a funny bad lip reading between Matt Gaetz and AOC.
Did they actually do the overdub? I saw like the video, but it's like someone please like lip read this or something.
Here.
But that's all I saw. I didn't see the bad lip reading.
To find it.
Okay, all right.
Because I liked it from our page. So
fun.
I think I retweeted it.
Oh, that would be nice.
Let me see.
That'd be super convenient.
That would be extra convenient.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Bad TV. This is bad TV right now. You found it?
Yes.
All right, good. Yes, queen. Throw it up there on the screen.
God. You need to stop. Okay. Can you hear this?
I've heard
Yep.
that
Cool.
the floor asked for shrubs to be put in the common areas.
Yeah,
No,
right.
we will not let this slide because, like, when you
Obviously,
do that,
we put in some rocks too.
oh, interesting. All rocks are my friends. I didn't know.
My brain is full of rocks.
Oh, interesting.
It's like we would put rocks there as well with the
good.
shrubs.
Okay.
Oh, interesting. Nice. I like that one.
Let me see. Hold on. You have another one?
Was there any other ones, or was that like the only one that they did the bad lip reading for?
I don't know. Let me see. Oh, that was the only one they did the bad lip reading for.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. Okay, sorry. Okay, yeah, we had more comments.
Okay, more comments are good.
I kept getting emails, and I was like, but I'm not seeing them on the Rumble rant thing. Why is it coming through? But I guess it's comments at the bottom of the screen. Rumble's tricky.
We'll get there. We will figure out this whole Rumble comments thing, and then we'll be able to hopefully one day be able to show them on the screen as well.
Yes, let me see. I just want to make sure. Okay, cool. I'll show it, but I just want to make sure it's not anything too spicy that we can't show on. You know, just making sure. All right, so in the 70s, Darryl Stingley of the Miami Dolphins suffered a spinal cord injury, leaving him paralyzed, and the game continued.
Oh, okay, interesting.
As China gets stronger and tougher, we're more concerned with feelings, pronouns, and opinions. We've become a soft nation. The game should have continued. I agree. The hit had nothing to do with it. He was multi-poked. Again, I'm not in any way saying that isn't a valid opinion.
I think that was a totally valid opinion right there. Like just like talking about the previous things where like, the Miami Dolphins guy in the 70s where, the game continued. I think that's justified then. So, okay. Like if they have like solid records of like what they do in these different scenarios, like in the playbook of like, this is what we do in this situation, like then you just write it in there. Like, all right, cardiac arrest on the field, the game continues. Got it. Okay, thank you. So
exactly.
that I think that's valid.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So like I think when it comes to the starting or finishing or ending of the game, sorry, I was trying to get my windows all figured out again. Yeah, when it comes to that, I completely agree. It should have kept going. I understand it's crazy. And that's what I'm saying. Like it could go both ways. For me personally, everyone is entitled to their own opinion. I'm not going to say you're wrong or you're right for this. There's not enough evidence or information about it yet for me to really even say that.
This is like the most uncomfortable I've ever seen you talk about a topic. You're very uncomfortable with this
because, well, we're on YouTube for one.
I understand that, but I'm just noticing you squirming a lot when you're like, well, guys, and like it's like I get it, dude. Like I know we got to tiptoe around this thing.
We do have to tiptoe around it a little bit, just because of YouTube. But at the same time, I'm really, really trying hard not to cuss. So I think it's just my body's reaction to like not. I'm trying hard. I'm trying to sound smarter, I guess.
Okay, fair enough.
So I think my body will just take some time to get used to it. But no, I completely agree with both sides. Like it could be this convenient thing,
yeah,
or it could be what there's a lot more of evidence that has come out about stuff. But until you see what I mean.
Yeah, no, and there's definitely the possibility of multiple things all playing into each other, which be more than likely is the case. Because I mean, like honestly, whenever it comes to any kind of like faulty system of some sort, it's usually not just one little thing. It's usually a couple little things that all kind of like trickled into one another that created something larger.
Yeah, and so I'm not gonna, so. At this point, it's an interesting topic to talk about, but there's so little information about it besides the fact that he collapsed on the field and this and that, whatever. That's all that we have right now. So you never know. So all right. So with that, there is something spicy that was said. A couple things that were spicy that was said. Hold on. So you know who Al Green is, not the awesome singer, but the congressman from Texas.
Right.
He had some idiotic things to say. So every time he came up, he had some racial something to say instead of just voting for the name.
White supremacy.
He said something about slavery the last 2 votes. I'm not kidding. And then this one, he says, wait for it.
Green of Texas.
Black Lives Matter. Not just my whole problem.
Jeff.
Well, that's a thing.
I thought it was absolutely hilarious because he opined for so much longer on the next vote and went and was talking about slavery and oppression and blah, blah, blah. And everyone on the Republican side was like, order, we need order. It was all, shut up, you old piece of garbage. So many other words I wanted to say.
We need to get you a thesaurus, I think.
Hey, no, it's it's gonna happen. It's gonna start.
Okay.
So let's see. This I don't know where she's from, but it's Kat Kamek. She was nominating Kevin McCarthy and was going on for a while, and she had some spicy things to say about the Democrats. I mean, she's kind of larger, so Fat Hammock is a name that came up on Twitter, which made me laugh. I don't care if they're Republican. That bitch
if
big.
It's funny. It's funny.
Yeah, that bitch big. I don't care. Like, whatever. But this,
ooh, yeah, that's a pretty hefty Miss Piggy right there.
It's like Amy Schumer.
Yeah, but I think Amy Schumer is like cuter.
That's saying a lot.
Yeah, it's saying a lot. It's like the difference between like a 3 and a 2.
Amy Schumer is like a polished turd. Okay, and she smiles weird. Not Amy Schumer, but this, Fat Hammock. Okay,
it's like one of those sad smiles. Like
it's a weird fake smile. I don't know, man. I don't know. I know nothing about her. She might be an amazing woman, but she's the XXL hefty back.
That's her sad smile.
Yeah, exactly. She's a gym partner to Megan Thee Stallion. Lizzo. All right, here we go.
Diversity of thought is a good thing. It's one of the things that sets us apart from our friends on the other side of the aisle. Yes, diversity of thought is a good thing. But
blasphemy.
They want us to fight each other. That much has been made clear by the popcorn and blankets and alcohol that is coming over there.
What?
The house is not in order.
Because you're treating it like a stand-up comedy.
Okay. Is she wrong, though? Probably not. I mean, Pelosi's on that side. So there's some alcohol going on, some Xanax. She's not wrong. Okay. But for me, it's the weird smile and how she talks. Yeah, exactly. Just
the house is not in order.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't care what side you're on. If you're a Karen, you're annoying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, she threw that out there to get a rise, and like that's what she got. She got that reaction, and the house is not in order.
Exactly, like, dude. And you're nominating a rhino. I don't really, so. Yeah. And with the Kevin McCarthy thing, it just seems like he's just so entitled to it. Like, oh, I've been the Republican majority leader, for like 4 years or whatever. It's like, so if you're not doing your job, you're not doing your job. And if you're not going to represent the people that voted you in the way that they want to be represented, then sorry, this isn't just you get the job because whatever, you have
Who
to
cares? You're next in line. You get it now, buddy.
That's what I gotta say. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, I'm all for, you know, putting the rhinos to the test. And if you're going to support, if you're basically going to be an independent, or you're basically going to be a Mitch McConnell or a Dan Crenshaw or a, you know, or a Mitt Romney, then sorry, no, you have to prove yourself. And if you're going to do nothing about the border, if you're going to do nothing about the, you know, the education system with, you know, transing kids, and you're going to do nothing about all these issues that conservatives and Republicans care about, then you don't deserve that job, because you're the third in line.
It's exactly. It's especially right now, considering the current administration and whatnot, and like where we want to have somebody who's going to speak like, you know, solid conservative thoughts. We don't want somebody going and representing us that, or even like that half of the house. We just don't want someone up there who's just going to be another like boring vanilla voice up there, is just going to keep spouting the same narrative and or just fall into line with whatever the Democrats are doing.
Yeah. So there's also this, let me see, which I thought was pretty hilarious. This was from, I think this was from January 2nd. So this was before a lot of the voting happened, but it's Gaetz, who said he had a brief and productive conversation with McCarthy. I don't know. Gaetz makes me laugh, dude, because, you know, he's be offended. You know, he's just so he's just so straightforward. He's like, I don't care, dude.
Brief and productive discussion. How was it productive? Insofar as that it was brief. Can you elaborate a bit more? I sure could. I mean, has he won your support yet, Congressman? No. Why not? I think I've laid that out extensively. I'll tell you what, I'll send you the speech I gave at Turning Point. I was able to extend my remarks there a little further. But I'm just curious, when you say productive, it didn't nudge you a bit toward yes? It was brief and productive. That's a different tone than you've struck before. Thanks for noticing. So is he giving into your demands? It was a brief and productive discussion. You might vote for him tomorrow? You're not going. I'm a no. You're a no.
I'm sorry, dude. I can't not like the dude. Like,
that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
He's like, you know what? If I say anything else besides it's brief, you're still gonna take my it's brief and productive and switch the words around and make me sound ridiculous.
No, what they're going to do with that is they're going to take that brief and productive, and they're just going to focus just on the tone. They're going to focus on the body language and the tone, and that's all it's going to be in the article. It's like, he said it was brief and productive, but you could tell by the way he was glancing at me that he felt that he was, you know, like winning this, or, you know, there's going to be like this added notion of just like what they perceived they thought he was thinking. You know, it's going to be an opinion piece. It's all it ever is.
One of the funny things about it is, right, the first comment or the first comment on that tweet, one of the Democrat paid shills, Joe Jers. Good God, these two smug, insufferable assholes strutting through statutory hall, probably, like they're the coolest kids in school, especially after their roles leading up to and on J6 makes me want to puke. You make me want to puke, woman. That's probably the only thing you can do to not be fat anymore. They are a stain on Congress and have no right to be in that building. Well, I mean, they do have a right.
Yeah, because I mean, like they're part of Congress, so yeah, they do have a right. They have offices there. How about that? Their name's on the wall. Is your name on the wall there?
I mean, she wants it to be. The only way she's going to do that is she blows Biden, but he's going to poop first.
Yeah. And MMA Nut, we did cover this last time. We covered this on Monday, so you got to make sure you go back and you rewatch all our Andrew Tate stuff.
We did. We're not trying to farm views at all.
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna ask us to cover something, you got to watch all the episodes.
yeah, no, you have to watch every second,
every episode, and every minute of all the stupid things that I say. You need to listen and watch.
Give me a Dr. Pepper, something.
Unforgivable.
It's waffle fries. I'm sorry, dude. Every like 2 months, that video pops in my head.
Waffle fries. Unforgivable.
Unforgivable. I said,
you're forgiven.
It's okay. You don't get to talk about Liver King for 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that there's that hilarious backstory. Okay, so Fauci files and Twitter files. You want to get into that?
Might as well.
Oh God, do I really want to? Yeah, I was busy watching Liver King's video.
Again, it's the same apology video over and over again. I'm sorry. I didn't know. I fucked up, guys.
Yeah, you did. All right, let me see. So we have this from.
You want to do some videos in between, or you want to just jump right into that stuff?
We should save the funnies for after because I got a couple funnies.
Okay.
That should be our thing.
It's fine. I'm just like throwing out something just to kind of fill up some time. But
I think we should save the funnies for the end. It's leave like you've said the past couple times. Leave everyone on a good note, on a funny note.
Hopefully we leave everything on a good note.
Usually you play some sort of a fight video, and then I'm like, "Ooh, watch this one," and then it's like someone getting squished in between cars or. And we talk about Antifa getting hit with frying pan. I really want that as a sound effect. Okay, if you do that, I'd be stoked.
The kabong?
No, just the frying pan, the Antifa frying.
Oh, boom! Yeah.
There's 2 clear hits on there, so we can get one of them.
Yeah, I'll have to get that.
Or as a drop, that would be great too.
Yeah, as a drop. That's what I mean.
Yeah. Okay. So Elon Musk says he'll release Fauci files on Twitter this week. This is from yesterday. New Twitter boss Elon Musk. They don't need to be saying that anymore. Everyone knows he runs Twitter. He owns it. Shut up about it. Sorry, that got triggered by that. I can hear your silence. It's deafening right now. New Twitter boss Elon Musk pledged he would release the Fauci files sometime within the next few days. The latest escalation in his war on Dr. Anthony Fauci. I mean, it hasn't really been a war. He just said
there's been no war.
Everything is so hyperbolic nowadays. Jesus, like he said my pronouns are prosecute Fauci. Like that's all he said. And he said
he was trolling.
Yeah. Like, do you guys not get who he is yet? He's an autistic troll. He's a genius autistic troll. Like, it baffles me that the party of comedians and actors and comedic people don't understand jokes.
Well, because they can't meme either.
They can't meme. They can't make fun of things because it's offensive. They can make fun of white people. That's fine. But they can't make fun of anything else because it's offensive.
That's all they got is white people now. That's all their jokes. And like they're really limiting their audience.
Whatever. It's fine. Come on over. We'll make all the jokes that you guys want to hear, but you can't hear from your old friends. I hope you're having a great day 2023. Musk tweeted on New Year's Day, adding one thing's for sure, it won't be boring. Like, I'm sorry, everything that he says is in joke form to me. Like reading a text, just like we were reading.
Sarcastic.
It's so sarcastic to me. Musk's vow to dump more dirt came after Juanita Broaddrick, the former nursing home administrator who alleged she was raped by Bill Clinton when he was Attorney General of Arkansas in 1978, posted a response to Musk's tweet writing, waiting for hashtag Fauci files. Musk replied later this week. Like, I don't know, man. Like, even that, like, is he really saying that it's going to come out later this week? Or was that like a later on, blah, blah, blah? You know,
no, he was definitely to say later this week, it's coming. Like, he's just kind of calling him on it. Like, they think that he's probably full of shit, but it's like, no, he's legitimately going to be putting up some evidence that's damning for Fauci, where it's some kind of collusion with Twitter. You know, like with when it comes to
what I'm saying is his level of trolling and his sarcasm. I would totally understand if that was him just being like, yeah, later on, whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, sure.
I can understand that, but like that, you know, sarcasm and, you know, and satire is lost on the left. So,
well, that's why everything satire gets fucking marked for fact checks. fact checks everything on, like, because like I said, like I was talking about like the thing I noticed today on Instagram. I shared a just like a stupid funny video. Obviously it was fake. It was a fake comedic ad.
Yes.
But like it got flagged for fact checking. It's like the CDC never put this out. It's like, does it? I don't even think it says the CDC on there. It was like a smoking ad, like a don't smoke ad, but it was like, are these kids going to go smoke, or are they gay?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like smoking is gay. And then I was like, this is hilarious. Let me share this. And then it gets like, you can't share that, and it gets taken down. So then I just screenshot the thing and I put it up there. Like, Instagram's lame. People don't have sense of humors. They don't, and like even says this is from a satire website. There's like, I circled satire. It's like Instagram doesn't know what satire is.
Well, because they're using the same exact fact checkers that all the social media sites are using. Just like Twitter came out and said that, like, if you read the Twitter files, it said that they were bots. They were like automated. Looking for keywords and all that in the algorithm and all that stuff, and then they had manual people look over them. So all that is just automated. Dirty words, naughty words. You're not allowed to say that. So it's just like, stop being a pansy, dude. Like, you realize that all you're doing, like, it's like when you're a kid, your parents tell you don't do something. What is the first thing you want to do? That, like. You don't think that we all have a little bit of a kid inside of us, and you're going to tell people don't do that? What are they going to do?
I do that to my kids to get them to do things that like I want them to do. I do reverse psychology all the time. It's like, don't you dare eat that, or don't you dare go and brush your teeth, or like, and they're like, no, don't do it. You got to stay out here. Don't you dare go to the bathroom and do that. And then like then the next thing you know, they're getting up and they're like, watch me brush my teeth. I'm already getting my pajamas on. I don't care. I'm going to sleep.
Wait, how do you brush your teeth?
Like like that. Yeah, no, it's not going to be like,
I can't believe you fell for it.
I use 2 toothbrushes. Yeah, that's how I floss.
Oh, good God. Okay. So yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. It's like the, don't laugh. Like when, like, to a kid, and they're going to start laughing. It's just, I don't know.
Can't help it.
It's just dumb. It's like, why don't tell people what to do? Like, if someone's threatening someone, yes. If someone is slandering someone, or it's defamation, yes. But it's weird. It's like we have this thing that is in the Constitution, that is the First Amendment, that says you could say whatever the hell you want. It's weird. I don't know.
I know. I agree with you. Where it is strange that there is this big like taboo about that anymore, where you can't make jokes. You can't make jokes because if it's offensive, oh well, that makes it bad. Like, but like, wait, does it say that bad language isn't allowed?
Yeah, exactly. But
I don't think so.
I saw this comedian. I forget who he is, but he went on. He either was on Gutfeld or he was on Tucker, but it was a bit that he was doing where he was saying, during Christmas, like last year, whatever, Baby It's Cold Outside, a song from the 50s or whenever it was,
right,
was being canceled because it was offensive.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, and at that same time, Wet Ass Pussy was the most popular song. He was, and obviously didn't need to explain it. Like, just that alone is hilarious. He was like, but to make it funnier, I have the lyrics from Baby It's Cold Outside and the lyrics to Wet Ass Pussy. And he read them on stage.
Yeah, because like before, I remember when that was going on, like the Baby It's Cold Outside, it was because like, oh, this is about date rape. Huh? I mean, like when I first heard that, I thought it was funny. I was like, oh, like, yeah, wow. Like if you really listen to like the song in that context, it's like, yeah, like it sounds pretty like fucked up and like raunchy, but like, no, it's kind of innocent for the most part, compared to stuff that's actually like top songs of like the top 40s right now. Or
it was right after World War II. as well, I believe. So it was, there was a security about, being inside and being, the fears of, whatever. So, I mean, you play that into it as well. I mean, I don't know. It's very, very odd. I'll say that. But I mean, it's funny. We live in a clown world. But yeah, so there's that with the Fauci files, which I think are going to be very interesting.
Yeah, we'll definitely be covering that next week if that does actually come out, like, today or tomorrow or anything like that, which I'm sure it will. Then we'll probably cover that Monday. But yeah, I mean, like, I'm really interested to see what all is going to come out, like, as evidence, like, with the collusion with Twitter. Because I mean, we saw so much already where the government, the FBI, and all different types of like fact checking and things like that were going on, especially when they were trying to eliminate Trump from like the platform, or they were trying to get any other kind of conservative voices banned off of Twitter and stuff like that. So like, Fauci was probably one of the most sensitive guys when it came to like anybody who threw his name out there or was like, it was immediately like flagged. And same thing when it came with anything that had to do with like the vax or, COVID and the cover-ups and the NIH or anything like that. It was all related, and all of it was pretty much shut down.
Well, yeah, you can't criticize him because you're criticizing the science.
The science. I am the science.
I love how Elon was like, you're able to have questions about science because that is science.
Yeah, you're supposed to question it.
Yeah. And
I am the science.
No, you're a bridge troll. Shut the hell up. You should be thrown in the Potomac by your ears.
I just wish that somebody would have made like the parody video of like Fauci dressed as like one of the judges from like Judge Dredd, like, I am the science. Like, just like when he's like out there, I am the law.
I did hear something funny that he was being interviewed, and or someone said that when they went to go do an interview at his house, that he talked in third person and he had multiple portraits of himself that were done by his fans hanging up in his house. I don't know. That's kind of sociopathic.
I mean, like talking in the third person, like that alone is just creepy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I don't know how I would deal with that, or how I would like fend if I was trying to like always talk about myself in the third person. Like if I try to talk about Shawn in the third person and constantly be like, oh, Shawn's getting tired, or Shawn's getting like thirsty or whatever, that like I think that would just be like taxing. It'd be like really annoying to constantly think and talk like that. So I don't know. I would be curious to actually see or hear about the interview where that happened.
Yeah, it's from what I heard, it was pretty interesting. And
was it like a public thing?
The portraits of himself in his own house is weird.
Yeah, that's weird. I mean, like, it'd be one thing if he had like a pile of like all the fan art that came in and he just like held on to it because he thought it was so cool. Like, it's like, oh, this is pretty neat, like stuff or whatever, that he just kind of kept it all like in a file or something like that. Like, hey, like, yeah, check out some of the fan art that I got. But
yeah, like didn't no one learn from Can Hardly Wait? You're not allowed to wear your own band t-shirt.
I mean, that's just common knowledge if you've been in bands before. You don't wear the shirt of the band you're going to go and see, and you don't wear your own band's shirt. It's like selfless, or it's like shameless self-promotion, like,
yeah. And now
you have to call it out and say selfless shameless self-promotion. You have to you have to announce it to everybody, so you acknowledge, I am that guy. Chill out.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, when I send out like mass text messages to people about promoting like the live stream or promoting the merch store or promoting anything, I'm just sending out mass text messages. I even put sorry for the mass text, or I know it's shameless, shameless promotion time, or whatever. Mm-hmm. Or if I get in a conversation with someone online and we're going back and forth and blah blah blah, and we kind of agree on something, I'm like, hey, shameless promotion time. I have a podcast, I have a live stream, whatever. Like, right. I let people know that. I don't know. It's just, but no one has any shame anymore. You're not allowed to shame. We need shame in our society. We need shame.
Certain levels of shame, yes.
Yes. Some shaming, can be extra, but being shamed for, being a fat lump, that I wasn't before is, it's probably a good idea. Probably going to help me in the long run. But yeah, so did you want to go over the last Twitter files that came out? Came out on the 3rd.
On the 3rd? Which
Not,
I don't remember these ones now.
It said, let me see here. I'll bring it up real quick. It said, how Twitter let the intelligence community in.
I don't even think I read this one.
Yeah, I know. It just came out yesterday.
Yeah, I was like, shit, I didn't even know this. My God, I have to learn to keep up with this shit. You guys just, I don't know.
Dude, with not live streaming and with not doing that for like even the week and a half that we didn't, I just disconnected from most social medias for the holidays and for all that stuff. Like I'd scroll and find some funny things.
Yeah, I was more or less looking for funny shit a lot of times, and then like I missed this shit.
Yeah, exactly. And so like I have to get my brain back into, okay, you got to look for things. Okay, you got to do this and whatever. So, in August 2017, when Facebook decided to suspend 300 accounts with suspected Russian origin, Twitter wasn't worried. Its leaders were sure they didn't have a Russian problem.
Of course not.
What?
Of course not. No,
yeah,
Russian
no way.
No.
No, they have an alien problem. Zuckerberg is an alien. 3, we did not see a big correlation. No larger patterns. Facebook may take action on hundreds of accounts, and we may take action on less than 25. I'm guessing with that.
Approximately 25.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
That's what that little screw means.
I was probably high on that day of math. Keep the focus on Facebook. Twitter was so sure they had no Russia problem. Execs agreed the best PR strategy was to say nothing on record and quietly hurl reporters at Facebook. Interesting. So Twitter didn't want any of their didn't want any eyes on their misgivings. And real quick, MMA nut, it's why I only watch pre 2010 comedy. I agree with you on that. Patrice O'Neal, legend. There are some good ones out right now. It's just few and far in between. You know what I mean?
I have a hard time with stand-up comedy these days. Like pre 2010 comedy was pretty awesome.
Yeah. Tom Segura, Bert Kreischer, Adam Scholes, Bill Burr. Bill is riding the line sometimes, but he's still funny and he does still point out both sides.
Yeah, he's still funny.
Yeah, exactly. And he's that like kind of old crotchety guy humor. You know what I mean? Like, so it's there's something funny about it. But and his Monday morning podcast and the Thursday after Monday or whatever, however he words it, absolutely hilarious. His ad reads are just great. But anyways, but yeah, there are most of the comedy that comes out nowadays is not great. But there are those guys taking shots and taking liberties and taking chances. So if you need some suggestions, hit me up and I'll give you some. Twitter is not the focus of inquiry into Russian election meddling right now. The spotlight is on Facebook, wrote public policy VP Colin Crawwell. I'll have to read that later because that's a lot of reading that I don't want to do.
No, we're not going to dig into
that. In September 2017, after a cursory review, Twitter informed the Senate it suspended 22 possible Russian accounts and 179 others with possible links to those accounts amid a larger set of roughly 2,700 suspects. Manually examined. I had a burp. Sorry.
Yep.
So wait a second. So in August, they were saying they didn't have a problem, but in September, in front of the Senate, they said they deleted all these accounts. So which one is it, dude? You know what I mean? Like, what's
they're just not bringing it to anyone's attention. That's what they're doing. They're just
only to the Senate.
They're just handling it.
Yeah, okay. It's all transparency, dude.
Yeah.
Receiving these meager results, a furious Senator Mark Warner of Virginia, ranking Democrat on the Intelligence Committee. I don't know why there are any Democrats on the Intelligence Committee. I think a prerequisite for Intelligence Committee should be intelligence. held an immediate press conference to denounce Twitter's report as frankly inadequate on every level.
You know, I have to say this when
I
have to say this when it comes to like these threads. When Elon first took over Twitter, he talked about all these new features that he wanted to add into Twitter itself, where there was going to be a long form way of posting, like whether it was like a link or it was like some type of like a notepad version, so people didn't have to screenshot stuff to like, you know, post longer messages, that type of thing. And I really wish he would have implemented it before doing all these threads, because I mean, I'm sorry, but like these threads are just annoying to like try and read this way, where it's like 8, 9, 10, you have to go through it in order like that, versus just reading the information and having a flow, I feel like, smoother.
Yeah, I do see what you mean on that. I get what you mean on that, but also I like it and I don't like it. I like it because you can individually send sections of it out if it's something that you like or that you want to retweet. I like that instead of having to screenshot one little sentence of, you know, a fuller article. That part's cool. But yes, it is annoying to have to go through, you know, all of them, whatever. And then sometimes, like, there's a couple of the Twitter files that, like, it gets to like 31 or 32, and then it says show more tweets, and then there's like 60. You know what I mean? So it's like you missed the other 30 because you didn't even know it was because it's as like a comment underneath that last tweet. So yeah, there's a couple that are interesting like that. But hashtag irony mused Crowell the day after Warner's presser after receiving an e-circular, the verbiage on all this from Warner's re-election campaign asking for $5 or whatever you can spare. LOL, replied General Counsel Shawn Edgett.
Edgett. That works, yeah.
Edgett. Keep producing material. After meeting with congressional leaders, Crowell, whatever, wrote, Warner has political incentive to keep this issue at top of the news, maintain pressure on us and rest of industry to keep producing material for them. Dude, it's like, it's so stupid, man. Taking their clues from Hillary Clinton. Crowell added Dems were taking clues from Hillary Clinton, who that week said that's someone you should never take clues from on anything.
Cues.
Maybe on how to
cues.
Cues?
Cues.
I said clues. Okay. Taking cues from Hillary Clinton. I said it twice. Wow, I'm retarded.
It's okay. I mean, like I could see where you're coming from. I you know, but
yeah,
I'm here to help proofread since I'm not the one reading out loud.
Hey, we both do it to each other, so I welcome it. Yeah, you shouldn't take cues from Hillary Clinton. The only cues you should take from Hillary Clinton is how to live with cankles, or how to have people just die around you suspiciously.
Weird.
Like 200 of them.
There's like 37. Wasn't there like 37 that were like weirdly tied close to the Clintons?
Oh, there's a lot more than that.
Oh, okay. I thought for some reason there was 37.
There are 37 individuals, and then there are groups of people.
Oh, okay.
Like plane flights that crashed. Because one person was on there that they didn't like. So everyone else, well, sorry. Sucks to be you, bro. It's time for Twitter to stop dragging its heels and live up to the fact that its platform is being used as a tool for cyber warfare. Anything on the internet can be used as a tool for cyber warfare, you idiot. Like, some of the things that come out of these politicians' mouths, I'm like, are you a real human?
They're so stuck on just like social media in general, and like I don't know. To me, like, this is like boring. I'm so over it. Like I just don't care, because like I feel like we all agree that like, yeah, like anybody good or bad could use social media for different purposes and whatnot. It's not any kind of like surprise. Like, we gotcha. There's no like, you know, big reveal in this.
Like, you know that good and bad people can both talk on a telephone. Good and bad people can both watch TV.
Al Qaeda had a Twitter account for the longest time.
There's the Ayatollah Khomeini
Mm-hmm.
has one still, I think. Louis Farrakhan has one. There's a lot of people that still have them right now that shouldn't. Whatever. Let them all spout dumb things. The Russia task force started mainly with data shared from counterparts at Facebook, centered around accounts supposedly tied to Russia's internet research agency. But the search for Russian perfidy,
sure, yeah.
What the hell is that word? Was it
perfidy?
Perfidy? It's perfidy.
Let's see. Hold on. Let's do this. Hey Siri, what does perfidy mean? Perfidy, noun, deceitfulness, untrustworthiness.
Okay. So Russian deceitfulness. Just say that, Matt Taibbi.
Yeah, he's flexing his thesaurus right now. He's like, oh yeah, you like those words, Ian? How about that?
Sorry about your dick, bro. October 2017, no evidence of a coordinated approach. All of the accounts found seem to be lone wolf type activity, different timing, spend, targeting, under $10,000 in ad spend. So like it's, I don't know. Yeah, there's so much in here. Russian influence reached 126 million through Facebook alone. Twitter's search finding only 2 significant accounts, one of which is Russia Today, was based on the same data that later inspired panic headlines like Russian influence reached 126 million through.
Okay, so that's like the panic headline. All right.
Okay, I'm sorry. Is she not one of the most unfortunate looking people?
Pretty hideous.
Amy Klobuchar.
Pretty hideous.
He's gross. The failure of the Russia task force, shouldn't it be the Russian task force? Anyways, to produce material worsened the company's PR crisis. In the weeks after Warner's presser, a torrent of stories sourced to the Intel committee poured into the news. An example being Politico's October 13th Twitter deleted data potentially crucial to Russia probes. I hope they used Pirate Bay for that torrent. Yeah, dude, there's so much in here, but I don't really want to go over all of it. Do you?
No, I honestly like that's the thing. Like we were interested, I think, with these Twitter files when it came to like
see what I mean? Real quick. So this was 30, right?
Yep.
I clicked see more replies. There's 31.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, 30. There's 33. But there was one where it was like 42, and then it went down to like 65. I'm like, dude.
I think that was during the Trump one. Like, with there was a ton when it came to like the how they tried to remove Trump from the platform. And honestly, I feel like those Twitter files, they were the most interesting when they were pertaining to like, you know, obviously the Jan 6 stuff, when it came to like the Trump account being removed, when it came to the election. Oh my God, the amount of like just the censorship that was going on because of the election, and like Hunter Biden's laptop and all that. Like, to me, like that was like, you know, peak Twitter files of like what really mattered to get that information out there. Yeah. Right now it's like, okay, I get it. You want to keep like the theme going and you want to keep releasing more stuff, but is this really like a bombshell by any means?
I do think it is. I think it's just there's so much in the weeds of it, and there's so many technical aspects, and so like because it deals with the intelligence community and it deals with FBI and CIA and all these, you know, deep corrupt agencies, that I think it's a lot to take in and it's a lot to dissect. So I think most people lose interest in it because it's not like, oh, you know, 9/11 2.0, you know, situation. You know, the situation worse than the Civil War, even though nothing, no one died, except for people on our side, I guess. I don't know. But it's just really weird how like that. It's weird, but it's also understandable how that's the entertaining, the bright shininess. You know what I mean? I get that, but I do think a lot of this is interesting, but breaking all of it down on a live stream, probably not. When the Fauci files comes out, that's being read word for word, the whole thing. I'm sorry, because that's going to be very interesting.
Well, again, because that's one that really does pertain to everybody. Like, there's not a single person in the country, or like, I don't want to say the world, because there's a lot of people in the world that want nothing to do with, like, when it comes to like the vaccines and like Fauci and all that type of shit. But when it comes to, like, let's just say the US, everyone in the US was affected when it came to Fauci. Everyone, because some people lost jobs, some people lost connections with their family and all kinds of different scenarios, all due to the narratives that were being pushed at that time that were then either redacted, debunked, or still being pushed to this day.
Yeah, and I just, what I don't understand, and that's, we've talked about this before too, where I'm someone that voted for Trump twice. If he runs again, I'm going to vote for him again. Like, that's just the way that those are my beliefs, those are my opinions. I think his policies are great, and I think I think he was one of the best presidents that I've had in my lifetime. Because I mean, Reagan was president, but I was 4 or 6 when he was out. You know what I mean? So like, that didn't affect me. Subconsciously, but I didn't understand it. I didn't, get it. So my lifetime, yes, Trump's best president that we've had. But that doesn't mean he's perfect. That doesn't mean, he didn't make mistakes, like having Fauci as, the head of whatever the hell he was.
Still endorsing Kevin McCarthy.
I have a theory. And I have to do the Play-Doh. I think it might be 40 chess on that one.
Yeah.
The reason why is because he's a smart dumbass.
My favorite kind of dumbasses.
Yeah, exactly. And whenever I hear that, Varsity Blues, when John Voight is talking to James Vanderbeek or whatever, he's like, "You're the dumbest smart kid I've ever known." But yeah, no. And the reason why I say that is because I think he knows that his endorsements of candidates in 2022 didn't go very well. So what if he did this on purpose?
I don't know. I mean, like, it's an option. It's a possibility, like a theory as to what it is that's going on with that. I also think you're giving him a lot of credit to like try and say like, oh, well, if I endorse him, they won't pick him type deal. Like you're giving him a lot of credit with that. I tend to think he's like bull in the china shop type deal. It's like, I like this guy. This is the guy I'm going with. I'm going to give him my endorsement. It's a great endorsement. Probably the best endorsement. I'm going to give it to him. So like he's kind of like narcissistic, and he surrounds himself with yes men. So,
but every politician does that. So I can't say it's single him out on that.
No, I'm saying just facts. I'm just saying that he surrounds himself with yes men. He doesn't have a team of people out there being like, no, you don't want to do that. It's like, I'm gonna do this. It's like, oh well, you're President Trump. You can absolutely do that. And so so like they're not giving him. I don't think they're giving him the best advice out there. For like trying to avoid rhinos. I'm sure he can probably peg them out for like what they are for like being rhinos and whatnot. But why he went with Kevin McCarthy, I don't know. Why he went with Ahmet Oz like for like the endorsement with Pennsylvania, I don't know. Who
do you think has worse people around him, Kanye or Trump?
Oh, worse people. I don't know which is actually worse
advice.
Worse advice. Ooh, good question.
I mean, one is
the worst advice would probably be no advice, which would be Trump's team. I would say Trump's team would be worse because there's no advice versus bad advice, which would be on Kanye's team, which is actually getting advice. He's getting advice from Nick Fuentes, which is not going well at all.
That was an interesting point that was made. I was watching Timcast last night, I believe, and they were talking about, you know, Kevin McCarthy and the whole situation that could potentially happen because, you know, it's not just because the Republican has the majority that they immediately get the, you know, the House Speaker, but it's whoever has the votes. And I think you have to have 218, I think, is the number that you have to have to win the vote. And so if there's all this infighting, I have a couple different takes on this. There's all this infighting amidst the Republicans, that it gets Jeffries elected, Hakeem Jeffries, that's his name. If it gets him elected as speaker, then we kind of lose that power that we, you know, fought for. So I can understand that, but at the same time, there was something that Matt Gaetz said, if you want to drain the swamp, don't hire the biggest alligator, which I thought was pretty poignant. And I like that. Use a big word. But you know, I thought that was pretty good on him for saying that. And then there was Ian Crossland. He usually is a sad excuse for Ian's on most of his points, and it makes me really mad. I'm like, you're representing this wrong. But he said something, and you reminded me by saying bad advice is worse than no advice. And I think that,
well, I don't know. If we're just talking about advisors doing their jobs, I would say Kanye's team was doing more than
no, I'm not trying to dispute that. I'm saying you bringing up bad versus no.
Oh, yeah.
That sparked this in me. And so what Ian said was, it's weird saying Ian. I feel like I'm talking in third person. What he said,
Fauci.
Yeah,
very Faucian of you.
Ian said. Now you go. What I'm talking about? No. So Crossland, there we go. So Crossland said that that it would be worse to have McCarthy in there than to have someone else in there that we fought for, because with Kevin McCarthy in there, he's going to, like, because they want to do investigations into Biden and into Hunter Biden, and they want to do investigations into the border and into Fauci and all these other things, into, you know, Twitter, into all these different stuff, which they are valid investigations that need to happen. But if they don't put any effort into it, because Kevin McCarthy's trying to appease both sides instead of fight for what we as conservatives want, if he is just, because then what's gonna happen? It's just gonna be this sham little tiny investigation that later on down the road they'll be like, oh well, we investigated, nothing happened. Well, yeah, because you went, you know, put toes in the water, dickhead. You know what I mean? Like, so. I mean, that was a pretty base point. You know what I mean? Like, so
sure.
And I think conservatives calling their own party out is what we need. That's what we need politicians to do, is to call them out instead of just being this uniparty or this, like, you know, uniform progressive leftist Democrat.
And again, that's kind of where I was coming at when it came to like the Kanye thing, because it's like, yeah, Trump surrounds himself with yes men. Are they giving any advice? Not really. I don't think so. I think it's just pretty much him running the show still, and everyone just kind of like surrounding him with like, okay, yeah, we're just going to do whatever you say. And then you have someone like Kanye, who's got, like, you know, Nick Fuentes kind of like talking in his ear. Is it good advice? No, but he's giving advice, and he's also not a yes man. So like I think there's those elements that are missing as well. I don't know.
And, you know, Trump and Kanye are different. Are they both crazy? Yes, but Kanye is just like off the deep end manic crazy, and, you know, Trump is just like, I just say what I feel.
Yeah, he shoots from the hip.
Exactly. You know. So I think
I like that. I like the fact that Trump does that.
I absolutely love it. But I think that it's I think that it's a lot different than him and Kanye. Kanye doesn't have the Kanye doesn't have the rationality or the reasonability to understand how to say things. I'm not saying at all that Trump is a wordsmith. I am not trying to say that at all, but I'm trying to say that he has a little bit more sense over what topics can be talked about, what topics can't be, or how to go about it in a nuanced way.
Here, I'll hit you with a good word. You want a good one?
Sure.
Loquacious.
Is that a name of a Waffle House employee?
I mean, it very well could be, but it was like, no, you want to say something.
Apostrophes are in that name.
Like, loquacious. When you want to say something that sounds like very eloquent and like, you know, pretty and smooth and like well spoken, loquacious.
Wait for it.
I got news for you. That means you're gay.
Loquaciously gay.
All right, so we got a couple of MMA nuts, and none of them say Liver King, so we should.
Oh, so that we can read them.
Yeah, exactly. All politicians are con men. They are a bunch of people that tell us if we don't give them a percentage of our hard-earned money, we will lose our freedom. They destroy our country. I have comments about that in a second, but let's get through these comments and send our brothers to war and dictate how we live our lives. They live the life of luxury with our money while we struggle. I don't disagree with you, but I also, you know, it like there's so many people that say, you know, taxation is theft and abolish taxes. You know, I think we do need to have some sort of tax because we all use, you know, basic things. So there are some taxes that we need.
Local taxes are a necessity.
Exactly.
Federal taxes are questionable.
Yeah, I mean,
how the funding is being used. I think that if we cut the federal tax in half, we would probably do okay.
Yeah, exactly. Just use all the money that you've already taken from us. How about that?
How about that? How about that?
Yeah, and then, you know, and then we wouldn't need to fund 87,000, you know, armed IRS agents. I'm fine with that. Because they're all a bunch of.
But local taxes take care of your infrastructure and you know, just your basic stuff, like when it comes to like roads and you know other services such as like, you know, like taking care of your street lights, all that type of stuff. I mean, like it's pretty basic stuff, like your water, sewage, you know, all garbage, all that stuff's being taken care of. So
yeah.
Like that's a pretty important tax. You know,
do I agree with you? Yes, they live the life of luxury with our money while we struggle. I do agree with you to a point, but I mean, if you look at, you know, the, you know, highest tax rates, those are mostly the liberals. Those are the ones, the liberals and the leftists that are, you know, implementing those high taxes. I'm in California, man. I deal with that all the time. And or the rhinos, you know, but I mean, I think that there should be way less taxes, and they talk about it all the time, but they don't do nothing. And I think because of situations like what we're dealing with in the house right now, where they, you know, a rhino or just some, you know, appeasement of both sides. And I'm not saying there shouldn't be bipartisan agreements. I'm not saying there shouldn't be, you know, working together. I get that, but when it comes down to having a Romney or a McCarthy or a Lindsey Graham or a Crenshaw, we're not going to get anywhere. You know what I mean? Like if we have the power that we have voted for, we should use it.
Well, because when you're talking about those types of guys, like we're talking about people who are now just like career politicians. Like this is what they do for a living now. Like, you know, are they really representing us? Are they representing what you and I think or feel or anything like that? Not really. No. Like they're.
Well, I mean, when Amy Schumer did say that they were drinking. I mean, that was pretty good.
It's pretty funny.
Represented what I think.
Okay. Yeah. So there's moments.
You don't think AOC and Pelosi were taking shots? I mean, AOC probably paid the shots.
She is the bartender.
And, you know, you couldn't tell what, you know, bottle she was looking at. Googly. Yeah. Who are you looking at? Who are you looking at? I can't see. Is that a good Pelosi? I don't know.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, there's going to be rocks too.
Oh, good. Okay, so I got a funny Trump video. We can go into the funnies.
Sure. Yeah.
Cool. Load this real quick.
Donald Trump is the realest nigga I ever seen in my motherfucking life. You can get mad if you want to. He don't look black. Yeah, he the new kind of nigga. We got burnt almond. We got light skin. We got dark skin. We got purple up in this motherfucking. Now we got a new kind of nigga, a tangerine. The realest nigga in the game. Him and his wife fought at the inauguration. He turned around and said, bitch, get your act together. Turn back around. Did this motherfucker just check her ass? The day he won? That's nigga shit. He was at a press conference in a foreign country, pushed a prime minister out the way. Move, bitch. Here we go. I'm looking to take care of the country and blah, 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 blah. Donald Trump turned around and said, yeah, I grab a pussy from time to time. Donald Trump is the realest guy I've ever seen him.
That's pretty good.
That is good.
That's the guy who is in Breaking Bad.
Yep.
Him,
yeah,
Bill Burr lay on the
Huel. That's
Huel,
it.
yeah, exactly. Okay, I have another one unless you got some.
Yeah, I got stuff.
Okay, cool.
We're gonna go right over here for
Oh, dude, I like this already. Oh,
what? Oh, what do you think the goal was? What was the goal in that?
Is he trying to go backwards over the fence or forward? What?
Well, like if you look at the very beginning, they're already hung up. Like their underwear is already hung up on.
Okay, I saw
on
that.
this. So I'm like, all right. Obviously, they set up the camera, so like they're trying to get some kind of like video footage here or something. But I don't.
Really skinny black dude with a white do-rag on.
Did you just say that person was skinny?
No, I'm saying the pole with his underwear.
Oh. Okay. Wow. Racist. All right. Got it. I like it.
You expect any less? Oh. Yeah. What?
Oh God. And then it just gets worse. Because like now it's like, all right, now I have to try and climb up back onto this fence. And why did they blur his face out? Or why did he blur his face out? So embarrassing.
Who this idiot is.
So embarrassing. Oh God.
Just rip the underwear down. Just rip it.
At this point, I would rather just jerk myself down to get just rip it off.
The balls have already been pushed back up in. By this oh, dude. Or one popped into his butt.
He's just digging in his ass.
Dude, cut the ball. Do something.
This is where he lives now.
It's like the Louis C.K. thing. So what do I do? No,
this is who you are now.
You do.
There's this one as well, which I'll share this one. Because now we're in the beginning of the year, and I don't know if you go to the gym at all or anything like that, but this is walking into the gym on January 2nd. And I'll cut the audio. I think there's music.
Yeah.
But you can get it's just club music. Yes. Get it. Woo! The last one, the girl goes flying from here. This cracks me up.
His ass was super sore for days. Yes, but he seemed like he was probably on the down low, so he probably used to it.
Yeah, he's used to getting that kind of abuse.
Yep.
Whee!
That's good. All right. I got one.
Yep.
And then we'll go back to yours because I'm sure you got a couple more.
Sure.
All right, let's see.
Country outside the United States, go.
Jamaica.
Uh-huh.
Europe.
Okay.
Dubai.
All right. Good job. Name 3 countries you can't name what the girl before you named.
Yeah. Asia.
Okay.
She named all the ones that I would call out.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
The only country is Asia.
No, that's not the only country, but she already named the ones that I would.
So the other countries you would have said are Europe and Dubai.
Well, Europe.
So your 3 countries are Europe, Dubai,
United States of
Asia.
America.
Can't name America.
That's not a.
You're 30, by the way.
Yeah.
And the 3 countries that you can name are Europe, Asia, and Dubai.
At this moment, yeah.
At 30.
Okay, nope. All right. Go.
At 30.
At 30, you've done a lot of successful things in your life.
That's what you've done. I'm sorry.
Yeah, none of that was in a textbook either.
I mean, nowadays in 2022, they're probably.
Well, yeah, that's true. I'm sure in sex ed they might be teaching you some shit that we didn't know anything about in high school.
I mean, the butt plugs in that one school.
Some good flossing techniques.
Okay, you got more? Okay, cool. Awesome. And then I want to talk about that planet coaster thing that I was telling you about before. It was actually pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah, so this guy, it's like we don't know what he's training for. So you just give me your best idea.
Okay.
It's almost like if it's Pat was like doing like training at a range. Like,
why are you aiming from the hip, dude?
Like right in front of your face, like.
Why are you walking like you're?
I just don't. I don't know what you're training for, but it seems super extreme. Like
doing a zigzag pattern instead of walking in a straight and running in a straight line. I get that. The push off. Why would you be that like if you feel threatened? Why would you be that close anyways? What is the 10-foot distance, right?
Well, yeah, but he's not even that far away.
Well, I mean, yeah, in the front. That's what I'm saying. Like, why would you not?
Like that's probably like 8 feet.
Oh my god, dude! This seems like in the 80s, or the 90s. So I mean, idiots. I get. Yeah.
Is that what you think this is? This is like some kind of training from the 80s, fighting for Terminators.
Why'd you just shoot the wall? You missed him by 4 feet. Pew, 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 pew. You're gonna kill innocent people. Is that a man or a woman?
Yeah, he completely missed. Like, run away.
Okay, is that a man or a woman though?
Well, that's what I've been saying before. Like, it's Pat. It's Pat at the fucking rifle range.
It could be like a lesbian with the what's it called?
I just like it when I use my pistol.
Is that Chaz Bumbo?
All right, you go ahead.
Okay, so let me see real quick. Hold on. So there's this game that let me see. So there's this game. It's a PC game, and now it's on Xbox and PS4, PS5, and it's called Planet Coaster. And I like roller coasters. I like theme parks and stuff like that. And the whole point of this game is like kind of like a Sims type thing where you build
Roller Coaster Tycoon.
It's literally it's made by the same company, Frontier, but it's like the ridiculous version. Like some of the like theme parks and the theming and how you can set up the rides and the roller coasters and put like special music to it, all this stuff. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like I want to try and find something cool. Let me see. Yeah, let me see real quick. I'll try and find one of the videos that I watched. Yeah, let's see. We'll go with this one. Yeah. So we'll go with this one. So but yeah, so basically it's kind of like it's like roller coaster tycoon. And it's pretty cool. And I just started. I randomly came across. I don't know what algorithm that I jumped into, but it was like about a year and a half ago. It was this guy who said, "I'm going to build, the most, the biggest, park, mega park, whatever, and all these different themes." He did like a whole like Legend of Zelda themed land, and then did like this big city and like a Spider-Man ride and like all this stuff. It was really, really cool. And it was cool to see him make it and kind of his process of doing it. And you like can terraform the land around it and build whatever into it. So it's like Roller Coaster Tycoon on steroids. It's awesome. And so in finding that, I found this channel called Let's Game It Out. And what he does is he takes games and ruins them. Like literally. So let me see real quick. So basically, let me see if I can.
All right. So enough of that.
Let me see. So here is an example of what can be done with the. There we go.
Let's check out
Can
the
you hear that?
spy alarm. We're looking at a Giga Shade video.
So this is a roller coaster that he built?
Yeah. Well, it's called Roller Coaster Spotlight. This channel, 5 Gaming channel or whatever, they do spotlights of parks and this and competitions and whatever. So it's someone that submitted it to them. But yes, someone did build this on the game. And obviously, super climb, but once you look down and you can see everything, you see like the expansiveness of all what you can do. And
whoa,
right? It's pretty cool. Some of them get a little extra.
The Billy Corgan.
You build these in the parking lot and everything, like put it like so I mean there's some cool stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, look at how big and expansive that is, right?
Yeah, but where's all the loop-de-loops?
They have them in the different coasters. I mean, there's let me see. That one's more of it's a kid ride, boat ride.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they have all of them, all the ridiculous ones. Is this one?
I thought there was gonna be one that had like crashes in it, like literally, because that's what I used to do at Roller Coaster Tycoon. I used to make them to where like they were going to fail, and like the thing of the cart would just go flying off of the track, and then like everyone was like, no!
Oh, just wait.
Back to Let's Game It Out. We're playing Planet Coaster today. I've never played this game before. I have played a lot of Planet Zoo, and that game is great for, shall we say, dealing with animals. But my sense is that Planet Coaster has something that Planet Zoo doesn't, and that's more mayhem of the human variety. So buckle up, let's get started. We're gonna build our beautiful coaster right here in the city. Yes, game, thank you. Please serenade me with these city noises. Name your park. Coastway to the Heaven Zone. That'll do. Here we are outside the beautiful city. A bustling downtown with an aggressive amount of traffic. Well, I can see why you'd want to spend a day at the roller coaster park. Seems a tad stressful. Let's leave all that behind and go retreat to a theme park run by a maniac. Is this the entrance to my park? Some random bear cave? Where does this even lead? Oh, to a teleporter. I get it. You didn't use physical exertion, you just use magic. Okay, so again, I've played Planet Zoo, and all this stuff looks real similar. Even some of these items look the same from what I'm used to. Oh, this is different. Fireworks of all kinds. Like this one shaped like a skull. Well, now I gotta see what this looks like. Oh, well, that's just splendid. And of course, now we need to see what happens when we put a bunch of these down. Up you go, and oh, yeah, that's great. Well, now we've got to with this glorious blanket of fireworks. Okay, go. Really? Just one? That's all you're gonna... Oh, my eyes. Oh, goodbye. Long. Wonder how many of these you can add. Okay, so I added a few more. Okay, I added a lot more. I can't really tell you how many, because at a point the game just won't draw them anymore until you get closer. But if my count is accurate, there's something like 100 to 150,000 fireworks in here. So maybe consider averting your eyes. This might get really bright. Ah, yeah, it's like a nuke's going off. This might actually be all we're gonna get. The game appears to be taking up 78% of my CPU at almost 30 RAM. In fact, I'm kind of surprised that it's still going at all. Oh, wait, there it goes. Okay, I think that might have been a little much. Let's not do that again. So let's move on and see what these other fireworks can do. And for that, first, we're going to build a little tower. Ah, beautiful. And we'll just load it up with some fireworks. Watch out, everybody. Something threatens our fair city. The threat of having too much fun. Look, I know tens of thousands was too many, but how am I supposed to not do this? Like, why have this in the game if not to fire it like a cannon? Ah, there we go. How festive yet deadly. All right, let's see how this looks. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Absolutely,
well, now that the city is
that's
on
pretty
fire,
fun.
I mean, it looks like besides fireworks, we also have
when he gets
electricity
into
and water
murdering
and
people.
what with it being completely vertical and all. Hey, buddy, have you thought about looking up?
Oh shit.
Okay, well, this seems plenty effective. Yep, that'll do it. Well, this seems like it's been overall quite successful. Hey, wait a minute. This gives me an idea. Now, our guard tower here has admittedly limited range. You know, it can probably get more distance. Perhaps some manner of roller coaster placed really, 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 really high in the sky. Impossibly high. God. Yeah, that's gonna be good. Okay, let's see. Target speed, 100 miles an hour. Acceleration rate, all of it. And just like before, it's gonna be a steady ride all the way down. What could possibly go wrong? Buckle up. I don't care. I know I sure would love to ride something on a 90-degree turn. Oh, just didn't clear it. That's okay. First time out, not bad. Let's try and extend this a little bit. Everything else the same except slightly more runway at the end. Test number 2, don't let me down. Well, we lost one, and the others, well, no closer. Okay, let's try a different coaster, like the flying.
That's pretty fun.
All of his
because
videos
There's one thing I know
are this.
coming. There's so many people out here with
Just raining people.
There's so many people here. It's starting to look like an outdoor festival. It's a shame, though. After a certain amount of time, the game just resets them off the grass. So I wonder, is there a way to keep these people over here? Okay, let's do a test. If I build a nice, lovely stone column, will people be able to pass through it? Well, only one way to find out. Oh, yes, they can impact it. We know what we need to do now. Okay, there we go. My hideous, weird-looking rock wall. Well, let's see if the wall catches these people. Oh, God, yes. It's like confetti, but it's bodies.
This is so terrible.
I'm gonna somewhat more look.
Okay, every game he does that. You need to watch this channel.
That seems like a lot of fun. What is the name of it again?
Let's game it out.
Yeah, that's fun.
Like how to be the worst neighbor in existence. I completely broke the entire game with just one item in Raft. Becoming the #1 YouTuber by ruining everyone's lives. There's so many good ones. I think there was one where he had too much. I set off so many nukes it ended reality. There was another one where I was talking about toxic waste. Oh, I built an airport of suffering where nobody is safe. That one was pretty good. Yeah, dude. There's so many. Oh yeah, I produce so much nuclear waste the world is ruined forever. He just goes through all these different games. Like he does Planet Coaster a lot, but he does Planet Zoo, which isn't like a version of Planet Coaster, and he builds the most ridiculous like inhumane zoos and just like eats people. He says everyone dies when I'm a 911 operator in the wrong country. He like ran a hospital in one of them and built it to where it was only desks, and then built this one tiny little ER and like ICU, and then didn't build a morgue, so it was just dead bodies.
Oh shit.
It was great, dude. This is what I watch while I'm making content.
That's awesome.
Yes, exactly. It's so great. But yes, it's something you should put on in the background, not around children. Probably not a good.
Fair enough.
Probably not a good idea. But do you have any other things?
No, we're good for now.
Yeah,
we're good for now. Well, I mean, I could show one more short one, but I think we're good for now. If you want, like we can.
Yeah, if you got one more, show it.
All right, fine. Here we go. This one, I was just really impressed with this guy. This guy, if this guy's not getting laid, he should be getting laid now after this viral fucking video of him showing off his mad skills at the concession stand. Have you seen this? Oh wait, no, it gets better.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's it. Butter it. Yeah.
Dude, be a bartender.
Woo! Dude, like yeah, he's not gonna get tips at the popcorn bar like that, but if he was pouring like fucking the Coors Lights like that, he'd be making mad money.
Why are you putting so much work into that, dude? You ain't gonna get paid more than the $8 or whatever it is.
I don't know, but it's impressive. That's impressive to me. I was like, damn, like this guy's taking his $8 an hour job and he's making it like a career move with this. I'm going for management material right here.
Yeah, imagine if he put that into like a real job.
Yeah, I mean, like this guy should be getting like hand jobs in the back row of the movie theater or something like that, just by like from fangirls or some shit. Like they're like, wow, it's that dude. It's the popcorn guy.
Sweat in the popcorn extra.
It makes it extra salty.
Does she jerk him off with, or he? I don't want to assume. Does he get jerked off with the butter, or is the butter extra?
But butter costs extra. It's better just to use your own spit.
Oh, I don't know if you've seen this.
Dude, that move right there, I was like, yes. He spins it like on his fingertip.
Yeah, I mean that is pretty awesome. But he only did that because he used to play basketball and then he got the size of a blimp, and so he can't play anymore. But no, have you seen that video where the girl like takes a straw and puts it in the middle of the popcorn and then pours the butter into the popcorn, because all the popcorn at the top is what gets the butter, right?
Right.
So she takes and pours the little, butter, piss stream into the straw, and so then it goes down into the butter. It's pretty genius.
Pretty smart.
I'm also very surprised that she was skinny and not 400 pounds.
She knows how to butter that popcorn.
Marriage material.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, y'all. Thank you for tuning into the Whiskey Capitalist podcast. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, follow, and comment down below to help out with that algorithm. Make sure you check out solo.to/thewhiskeycapitalist for all of our links and how to stay up to date with us. bit.ly/thewhiskeycapitalist merch to check out all that sweet merch. solo.to/tildeathstudios if you need any digital design work done. Trevor, I'm gonna hit you up in the next couple of days. I'm gonna hit you up on the weekend. We're gonna get that going. I appreciate you hitting me up too. Just want to let you know that. Solo.to/tilldeathpodcast for the podcast that I do with my wife. And that is going to be Saturday. We're doing our first live stream of the year. Should be awesome. Talking about communication.
That's a good one.
It is a good one. It is a good one, especially in a relationship. You make fun of each other. That's the communication you need in a marriage. That's what happens.
Part of it for sure.
And then on Friday,
solo.to/I'm Shawn Cav for all of my socials, for my different links and everything like that. And then Friday at 5:30 p.m. we're going to be doing a live stream for Sippin with Shawn. So yeah, that we're gonna. I don't know what I'm going to talk about, but I mean, I could probably share even my own insights when it comes to like, good communication skills and all that type of stuff, because you know what? There's all kinds of different opinions and takes when it comes to that stuff. And the more we can offer, the more value we provide for you.
Exactly. And I think it's not going to be obviously just about communications and marriages and relationships, whatever, but just communication in general with people. I think that with us, being in a social media time and era in society where, it's a 256 characters and you just get out a quick, or a text message is easier to text than, call on the phone. I think communication is a lost skill now, and so I think that's something interesting to talk about. But yeah, also check out @MoviesAmerica on Twitter and Instagram, www.moviesamerica.com. Check out the new content that we put up this week on the channel. Should have some more coming out soon. But yeah, go check out movies. Awesome dude. And yeah, go check out @TillDeath Network on Twitter for the Till Death Podcast Network as a whole.
Yep.
Go check out our whole. All right, with that, we are signing off for the night. You didn't have anything else, sir?
Nope, we're all good.
Awesome, cool. We'll catch you next time, next Monday. Peace.